up in a price. We yeah. I want to go on from campus. Young people are going hard from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Now, walk on from campus. How we are carry hard from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Hey, so make us again listen, let me tell you this. Students, I will make we do this. Oh yes, we create this space just for you. Make we talk about you, make we talk about school, government, and politics, sports, academics, anything that concern you. I don't know when love pass through. It's all about the gospel. So tell me what one from campus. Youths are going on from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Yeah. Hey, I walk one from campus. And we are carry lot from campus. Come on, tell me what one. I walk one. Hey, walk one. Everybody want more.
Wagwan, wagwan. Hello. Good evening, co-host.
Good evening to you, co-host, and a special good evening to all our listeners and our viewers. Welcome to Campus Connection. It's so good to have each and every one of you here with us this evening. Co-host, how you doing?
I
Oh, we
am
didn't
well.
introduce ourselves.
Yes.
Suppose the people knew,
I
you
true,
know?
I true, I true. Well, hello everyone. I'm Anesta and this
Mm-hmm.
other gentleman here. What's your name again? Who are you?
I'm Jonathan. I'm
Oh,
Jonathan. Yeah, man.
yes.
So how are things? How are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm doing well.
Awesome.
Overcoming, a little hurdle,
Mm-hmm.
physically, but
Yeah.
doing much better. I heard a
Really
few
happy to hear that.
persons praying, so I appreciate that too.
Mm-hmm. That's the
Yeah. How
power
about
of
you?
community. I am good. A little tired to be honest, but I'm super excited for this show. Ready
Yes.
to go, ready to learn. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, from last week. So last week, you remember we spoke about nutrition, right?
Uh-huh.
And so to be telling people that, hey, I do have to drink tea, so you don't need to tell me to drink tea.
Ah!
Just rubbing it in their faces that listen, a nutritionist, a
Said,
professional, you know,
yeah, she does
she
this for a
really,
living.
yeah, she does it for a living. She's
Yeah.
qualified,
Uh-huh.
credentialed even. She she literally gave me my get out of jail free card, or to
Oh,
put it, so if
okay.
somebody, you know what I should do? I should
What you
go
should
back to
do.
the YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
crop out that one part.
That
So whenever
section.
somebody mentions tea, I
Send
just
it
play
to
it.
them. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. That'll
And
work.
speak,
I mean, you
oh
definitely will have
boy.
to play it. I forgot to tell my grandma, but
Yeah, you need to call her after the
yeah,
show. You
I
need
need
to
to
have the
tell her for
conversation
real.
with her. Well, speaking of YouTube, we are live on Facebook and on YouTube here at Love 101 FM Jamaica. So you can jump onto the live stream and interact with us in the comment section. And if you're listening and you want to talk to us, you can send us a WhatsApp message 876 997 3125. That's 876 997 3125.
Absolutely. And we have so much lined up for you guys today. We're talking about overcoming disabilities. And this is a pain point somewhat in our education system. And so we're certainly looking forward to that discussion. But before we get there, we do have education news and bulletin brought to you by Mr. Nicholas Williamson, the overachiever in our midst. And I believe he's online now, actually. Hello, Nicholas.
Hi, how you guys doing?
We're doing well.
Welcome
How are
back.
you?
Welcome back.
I'm alive. Thank you. I'm well. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, take it away.
All right. So, education news and bulletin for Tuesday, September 19th, here inside Campus Connection. So, the government has launched a program to enhance infrastructure and technology in schools. Minister of Education, Youth, Honorable Favour Williams says the move aligns with recommendations in Jamaica Education Transformation Commission 2021 report. The Jamaica Education Commission, chaired by Professor Orlando Peterson, was convened by Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, to examine the education sector and provide informed strategies to improve students' performance. Minister Williams says strides have been made over the last 3 years towards the integration of technology in classrooms, citing the donations of tablets and laptops to students and teachers. She appealed for patience and understanding from stakeholders. She says it will take much planning and designing to execute such a program. However, they are committed. The minister was speaking at the ceremonial launch of the 2023 to 2024 school year at St. Hilda's High School in Brownstown, St. Anne, on Tuesday, September 12th. In continuing the news, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation and councillors of the municipality has assisted about 10,000 students with back to school expenses over the past 3 years, totaling over $60 million. Speaking at a meeting at the KSMAC at its Church Street offices in downtown Kingston on September 12th, Mayor of Kingston, Senator Councillor Delroy Williams, encouraged students who benefited from this year's assistance to make good use of it by doing their utmost best. The beneficiaries were mixtures of students attending primary and secondary institutions. The mayor also showed appreciation to the councillors and to the staff of the Poor Relief for their efforts over this back-to-school period. In Campus Connection Bulletin, the Past and Purity in association with ICF and Monroe College presents Co-Head High School Conference 2023. This will be held at the Richard B. Roper Auditorium, Monroe College, St. Elizabeth, on Saturday, October 7, 2023, from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Features include Christian Teachers Forum, Fathers Forum, dance, drama, fashion show, and dynamic guest speakers Sean Graham, Dwayne Taylor, Ronaldo Ross, and Andrew and Annette Norman. There'll also be a grand gospel concert featuring Passion and Purity praisers, Chevelle Stewart, Ariana White, David Sutton, and Rayanne Davis. Admission is free. Also, Passion and Purity celebrates 15 years of ministry to the nations with a worship service on Sunday, September 24, 2023, beginning at 9:30 a.m., hosted at the Church of God of Prophecy on 47G Whole Oak Road, Kingston, under the theme Serving God with Passion, Purity, and Purpose. All are invited to join in worship. So that's all we have for you today in Campus Connection Education News and Bulletin. I'm Nicholas Williamson. Have a wonderful rest of your week.
All right, all right. Thank you so much, Nicholas, and all the very best for the rest of the week.
All
All
right,
right.
thank you, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right. So that was Education News and Bulletin by Nicholas Williamson. It's now time for Creative Block with Mrs. Amoy Lawrence. She is a writer, author, producer, and senior public relations officer. And she's also one of the past producers of this very show, Campus Connection. She's also the freelance publicist for Cheryl Lee Ralph, and she's married to Christopher Lawrence, and the union has produced one child. Please make welcome.
Well,
Okay.
actually, before we go
Wait,
to
yes.
Mrs. Lawrence, we do have a question that we would like to
Mm-hmm.
throw out to you guys. Do you think our education system facilitates good performance of students with
Mm-hmm.
disabilities? So we're going to be talking about that definitely a little bit later on in our main discussion segment. But before we even get there, we do want to hear your thoughts. Do you
Absolutely.
think our education system, do you think a student can go to our high schools or primary schools or prep schools and
Mm-hmm.
just operate at a level of excellence, being disabled, having physical disabilities, mental disabilities? Can they perform at the same level that other students can? Right. And we want you to send in your feedback. Of course, on our live stream, you can comment right there, but don't just say yes or no. Tell us why. Give us a little more. You can also reach out to us on WhatsApp at 876-997-3125, or you can call in our studio lines at 876-968-8327 to 8. All right. So
Right.
we have Mrs. Lawrence now. And so
Mm-hmm.
welcome, Mrs. Lawrence, writer,
Hi,
big
thanks for
time
having me.
producer, senior public relations officer. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
All right, all right. So we want to get straight into this because your biography is pretty heavy, right?
Mhm.
But before all of that, what do you consider to be your life's mission, right? So what would you say would have led you to pursuing all of these things that you would have accomplished over the years?
So, I feel like outside of the writing, I feel like part of my life's mission is to help persons see the practical way of living for Christ. So we know
Mm,
a lot of what the church tells us and the rules and the regulations, but how can we see God in just everyday life? How do we know when God is speaking to us? So I find that I help persons in that area, and even with some of the questions that persons ask or some of the advice that people seek from me, it always points back to that. And with writing, funny story, um, I pursued all sciences in CXC, failed
Mm,
all of them.
mm,
It was a situation where my father was like, "Oh, you need to be a doctor." So I did the
okay.
sciences, failed terribly, and what was left was all that I needed to pursue a degree in media and communications and kind of just fall back on that natural talent and that gift for writing.
Mm. So what do you like about writing? I see here you are actually a seasonal writer for Sherry Lee Ralph. You're a seasonal freelance publicist actually, and you're a publisher and a writing coach. You've written your own book. You have your own publishing house, The Anointed Writer Digital Publishing House. What do you like about writing?
I love that it is an avenue of expression. While there are rules, there are no
Mhm.
rules. You're free to express yourself. You're free to, get your thoughts out in your own creative way, and
Mhm.
it's a way to communicate. Many persons may not believe me when I say I'm an introvert, and for many years before I learned the art of really kind of putting it aside to show up, especially in the professional space,
Mhm.
writing was my main avenue of communication and expression. So that's what
Mhm.
I really love about it.
Awesome.
And so we're talking about all the glorious stuff, all the wow moments. But talk to us about those moments when you would have experienced writer's block, you'd have experienced moments when you don't feel like the creativity is flowing. How do you move out of that space when it is that you actually need to come out of it?
So a good advice that I love to give is to just write through it. It's when you're experiencing writer's block, it's not that you're really struggling to write per se. You're struggling to kind of put your thoughts together to get them out in a meaningful way. So whatever it is that you're hearing or thinking or want to write, even if it's not a refined version, just get it on paper. And once you get it on paper, you can go over it and fine tune it to become what you want it to be. Because writing is not just a one step process. You actually have
Mm,
to write, rewrite, and write again so that you
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
can get like the end result that you really want.
Awesome. Awesome. And I just wanted to know because I see here you studied at the University of Technology, you did their media degree, and myself being a graduate of UTech, I'm very familiar with the communications program and just how intense it is. What advice do you have for students who are currently pursuing their degree, the challenges of studying communications? What advice do you have for them?
Number one advice is to read. I know, like, especially in my workplace, I'm having a challenge with Generation Z. They don't
Okay.
like to read and pay attention to the finer details, but it is very important, especially if you want to be a communicator. You have to be current with what's going on. You have to have a vast knowledge of many different topics.
Mhm.
It's either you're going to read books or listen to audio books, watch videos, try to be as informed as possible, and that also helps you to widen your vocabulary so that it can even help you in moments when you're experiencing writer's block. Um, if you have a good bank of words and a good bank of expressions, it's easier to navigate the writing process.
Mm.
Wow. Amazing, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, Amoy Lawrence here inside Creative Block, communication specialist extraordinaire. We will have more with her after these messages. So you want to stick and stay with us here inside Campus Connection on the Family Station, Love 101.
I walk one from campus, and we are carry that from campus. Come on, tell me back one.
What does strong Jamaica mean to you?
It means a Jamaica in which everybody have a house, no matter them income, where citizens can say the words "I own" and back up them chat with a title.
Where everybody have access to water and good road run through every part of the island. A Jamaica with first-class ports and factory space for accommodate enough investments and jobs.
Where policies and laws work to protect our environment for future generations and to slow the impacts of climate change.
So how are we going to achieve all them things?
So now one ministry and its agencies.
The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation.
Jamaica's central bank digital currency is now here. Jamdex, no cash, no problem. Step into a future of ease, convenience, and security. Conduct business with your mobile device instantly and without fees. This is how life should be with Jamdex. You catch it free. Jamdex are the real free. Use it to buy a stove or TV. You can buy your shoes or 3Ps. Get the central bank digital currency. No cash, no problem. Jamdex, backed by the Bank of Jamaica.
Do you have questions about the availability of medication from your drugstore pharmacist?
Ask your pharmacist.
Contact your pharmacist today by using our online request form via our website, calling 876-906-1106 or texting 876-219-9937, Mondays to Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. or by emailing rxsupport@nhf.org.jm. NHF is here for health. NHF is here for you.
Ask your pharmacist.
Make an impact on your career. Earn real money. Get 3 to 4 local and international certification in practical nursing and early childhood education with free CXC or CAPE subjects in 6 to 12 months at Distinction College, located at 26 Hagley Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. Earn global certificates in 3 months in geriatric nursing, phlebotomy, childcare. We have the lowest school fees around. Classes begin very soon. Call us 356-4167.
Do you have a heart condition? Your care should be in the hands of our experienced cardiovascular team at Partners Interventional Center of Jamaica. We're one of the leading heart centers for angiogram, stenting, pacemakers, EP studies, and ablation therapy. PICJ has the expertise and latest technology to treat all your heart needs. Call 876-995-7425 or email info@pic-jm.com for appointments. PICJ, your partners for life.
At Flow, we are determined to get it right. Now, over 60% of Jamaica has access to our fiber fast network, with over 800 communities being upgraded since 2020. And there's more to come. Everything we're doing is inspired by our harshest critic, you. Join Jamaica's fiber fast network and rediscover Flow today.
Cubby's Baby Wipes is ideal for your baby's delicate skin, infused with vitamin E and aloe vera, and available for home or on the go. The time by Cubby's Baby Wipes is
It's 50. All right, welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just joining us, we were inside Creative Block with Amoy Lawrence. She's a writer, she's a producer, she's a public relations specialist. So many things. She is a creative, to just put it simply. All right, so before the break, Amoy, we were talking about the whole essence of how you got to, well, a little bit about where you got to where you are now. But can you outline a positive impact for you as relates to you maneuvering the space of communication. So some of the wow moments, we want to hear about some of those moments when you look back and you say, boy, that was amazing.
I don't think I have one moment. I think
Mm-hmm.
what I would want to zone in on is just the journey and the steps to where I am now. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't always know that I wanted to be in communications. I know that I wanted to be a writer, but to what extent or
Mm.
in what avenue, in what area. And there are many forms of writing and types of writing. But
Mm-hmm.
it is important to be it may sound cliche to some people, but having a relationship with God helps you to know what steps to take and what opportunities to take to get to your ultimate goal. And sometimes
Absolutely.
you don't even know what that goal is. You have to just lean on God until He reveals it. And
Hmm.
that's what happened with me and being in the communication space in public relations. I started out as a
Mm-hmm.
producer. Not even started there. I started out doing events coordination.
Mm.
Then I went to Love FM. I was producer there, and then from Love FM, I said, I have a keen interest in marketing. Let me do some work in marketing, and I was in marketing for over a year. And then from there, it kind of helped me to zone in on, I like the process of coordinating events and
Hmm.
writing press releases and doing interviews and coordinating interviews and stuff like that. And you
Hmm.
can see where the experience in events, the experience in marketing, the experience in production all helped me to prepare to become a senior public relations officer now. So
Awesome.
it's been an amazing journey, a journey of obedience, and I'm really thankful to God that I'm able to walk with Him on this journey and in this role.
Wow. Certainly, congratulations to you on being a senior public relations officer.
Not
And
a regular, a
yeah, I
senior,
know
right?
she's a but my final question to you, we are in this weird communication space where there's so many content producers out there. There's an overload of content, an overload of information. What would you say Christian content creators can do to really stand out? I know you're familiar with having to write public press releases, things that really get people engaged. So, what would you say Christian content creators can do to stand out?
Well, to stand out these days, no matter how much the landscape changes, the foundation always remains. So know your audience, know who your target is, know who you're creating for, and
Mhm.
allow that to guide your content creation. You can't be creating for a Christian audience and you're tapping into strategies that the world is using or strategies that, for example, a dancehall artist is using. Different strokes for different folks, different things work for different audiences, and you have to know what it is that you're selling and what you're producing, so that you can tailor that for your audience. And and at the root of it, character always stands. Um, all eyes are
Interesting.
on you when you're out there creating, whether digitally or in the traditional space.
Mm.
And it's good to know that even as Christians or character, we can't be presenting one thing to the public and then behind closed doors it's another thing. So once your character is intact, it will shine through in your content, and that, contrary to many people's beliefs, helps you to stand out in your creation.
Powerful,
Awesome.
powerful. Thank you so much, Amoy, for passing through Creative Block inside Campus Connection, your old stamping ground. We're so very happy to, be able to speak with you this evening, and all the very best in all your future endeavors.
Thank you, and I'm happy that the vision, and me for hype up myself, I'm happy that my vision has come alive to have two young persons represented for Campus Connection, and you guys are doing a great job. So keep up the good work and
Thank you so
continue to
much.
keep our school audiences in check.
Thank you,
Awesome. Thank
thank you
you.
very much. Thank you. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful stuff. Amazing stuff there. past producer of Campus Connection, Amoy Lawrence, giving us basically an update. Where are they now? We can have
Right?
a feature like that. Where are they now? Kind of update. Doing amazing things in the world of PR and communications, all of those things. So that's great. All right. We have a lot left to do.
Yeah. Time
So shall
for
we
I
take a
Chose
break?
Christ.
Oh, yes, we have I Chose Christ. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to do I Chose Christ. And then we are going to take a break. So this evening's I Chose Christ is a very special one. It's by Mr. Mark Sweeney, a visually impaired music teacher at Clancarthy High School. We'll take that now.
Hello, I am Mark Sweeney and I'm a visually impaired individual and also a proud graduate of the Jamaica University, where I pursued a bachelor's degree in music education. Now my challenges were seeing the board, sitting papers, and getting home at nights after late study sessions or classes. How I overcame them? My Uncle Curtis. I would have observed my uncle how he planned and executed the task that he had at hand. He was also studying at Northern Caribbean University. He was doing his doctoral studies in psychology. He graduated at the top of his class with first class honor, and he was also valedictorian for his batch. I told myself that if he, who has no sight whatsoever, can do it, then I can do it with the little sight that I have. And as a result, I was inspired by him. I was also inspired by other visually impaired person on the micro campus who would have given me advice and who would have motivated me with a kind word every now and then, telling me that I can do it. And if I apply the strategies that they would mention, then I would be successful. I must also say that my classmates, they were a tower of strength. We had this system where we leave no man behind. If you are better at something, then you help me. And if I am better at something, then I help you. So we were a team. All of us graduated. Nobody repeated or nobody dropped out of the program. So that support was a really awesome support. I must also say as well that the Michael is a disability friendly institution. I say this because I was a part of the Guild of Students and I was given the opportunity to speak on behalf of persons with disabilities. As a result of that, rooms were provided for us to sit our exams and reader writers were provided as well. Now, reader writers are persons who read and write for us under invigilation circumstances. All right. So because of that, I believe that we overcame, the challenges that we had. I was also a part of Jamaica Visual Impaired Cricket Team, that's Javika, otherwise known as blind cricket. So I believe that blind cricket played a very important role in my success or in me overcoming my challenges. When I got to training on Saturdays, I felt a part of something. I felt belonging. I felt as if I belonged there. It operates as rehabilitation for me or therapy, knowing that there were persons there with similar circumstances, similar challenges, and I would have witnessed some of them, becoming great men and women of society. I also give credit to my God. My God. Wow. Because of him, I would have developed the discipline. I could not have done it without him. And I must say that my belief, my spiritual connection with God was also a factor. I must also say that my lecturers, they were very understanding, and that is why I would proudly say that they are a disability friendly institution. I I'm now a teacher at Clancarty High School, a music teacher, and I'm also a proud and happy married man to a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wife. I must say as well that I believe that my disability is a blessing in disguise.
All right. Powerful, powerful, powerful testimony there from Mr. Mark Sweeney. Boy, I'd really love to have a conversation with him.
Me
And I'm
too.
sure our listeners or viewers would want to have that kind of experience. So we're going to see what we can do. Okay. So just, we're going to work on something. But in the meantime, in between time, we have to take a quick break. So we'll be right back after these messages.
Swallowfield Chapel in Kingston, Jamaica comes alive on Saturday, October 7 for the 7th staging of the Sterling Gospel Music Awards, recognizing talent, rewarding excellence. Featuring live performances from DJ Nicholas, Kevin Heath, Prince Saj, John Mark Wigan, Chantal Smalling, Humble, Chris Campbell, and more. Red carpet, 6 p.m., showtime, 7 p.m. sharp. Dress code, black and white excellence. Get your tickets now at spuropen.com/sterling7. Adults, $3,000 pre-sold, $3,800 at the gate. Children, $1,500. Lap infants 2 years and under free. Be there.
Get your Western Union back to school bonus from now until September 22. 50 winners of $10,000 every week. Millions in scholarships of up to $100,000 each. And double your Western Union money transfer in your GK1 wallet to get you ready for the new school year. You could be one of over 300 winners. Just download the GK1 app, receive a Western Union transfer in your GK1 wallet, and you're automatically entered to your back to school bonus. Visit gkmsonline.com for all the rules. Authorized under Section 58 permitting gaming and
Planning to sit the January CXC CSEC exams privately? Register with Overseas Examinations Commission before the registration deadline, October 13, 2023. Visit our Kingston office or Montego Bay office to complete your application form or send an email to help@overseasexams.org.jm. Follow our social media pages at Overseas Exams for more details. Remember, if you plan to sit the January CXC CSEC exams privately, the registration deadline is October 13, 2023.
Clearing personal non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:03 p.m. All right, welcome back. You are listening to Campus Connection, and I'm Anesta, and with me is Jonathan. We are taking you through this Tuesday evening, and we're about to go into our discussion on overcoming disabilities. But before we get there, guys, the comment section said to tell you it's feeling a little bit lonely. Hop over to the Facebook live stream, the YouTube live stream, and please say hello, say good evening, just a little something. I don't know. Hi. But yes, we're about to talk about overcoming disabilities, and there's so much to unpack, so we don't want to delay any further. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think our education system is poised to facilitate excellence among students with disabilities? Comment on Facebook, comment on YouTube, but you can also reach out to us on WhatsApp, and Jonathan will give you the numbers for doing that.
876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125.
Awesome. So we have with us Jonathan.
Excited,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll introduce them. We have our guests with us. First of all, Miss Jodine Garvey. She's a customer service associate. She was diagnosed with sickle cell disease with multiple strokes. She's a proud graduate of St. Catherine High School and the University of Technology, woot woot, with a bachelor degree in computing, majoring in computer science. Jodine is currently a customer service associate at Sutherland Global. We also have with us Mrs. Donette Gordon Dallos. She is a special needs educator, dedicated and passionate about educating, and she's done that for over 10 years. Her commitment to providing quality education and support to students with diverse learning needs has made a significant impact on their lives. And she is also a graduate of the Michael University College. And she has this philosophy in life, which is to make the best of herself. And we definitely, it's quite a long resume here. So we definitely will unpack just some of her experiences. We also want to
Mm-hmm.
introduce Miss Jillian Dallas, an educator and author. She's an educator in the field, and she's been doing it for the past 20 years. She holds a master's in education, a postgraduate diploma in education and instruction, and a Bachelor of Arts in psychology. She's a mother and loves to interact with children. Full panel this evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Full panel. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you. Welcome to the show.
Come, ladies.
Hello, good afternoon.
Awesome, awesome. Let me just say, we are very excited to have each and every one of you on the show this evening. I really do believe that this kind of conversation is super important, especially for what we see happening nowadays in our education system. But let's kick things off. The question: can students with a physical disability, is it possible for them to get high grades? We want to know, right? Is it possible for them to get high grades? So we can start with Jadine, and then we'll go to the other panelists after.
Okay. All right. So, of course, student with disability can still get high grades when at school. We have all the we still have the knowledge to get all the concept. It might take us a little bit longer. So we do have the capability to get high grade. We just need to have the right resources and the proper help.
Mm, mm. Miss Dallas?
Good evening, everyone. Yes, children who has disability can get high grades. The thing that you have to look at is the mindset of the individual, the support that the individual has, and the resources that the individual gets.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a disability going to school, and because of that, I developed a positive mindset.
Mm.
Yes, and as Mr. Sweeney said, it was a blessing in disguise because I realized that it taught me that I had to work even harder than the others. So you have to put in even more work than the others. So when the others can go to bed, you have to be up because you know that you're going to need extra time doing certain things. So yes, they can achieve.
And what's your take on that, Miss Dallas? Mrs. Dalhouse, what's your take on that? I believe you're muted.
All right. So, students with
All right.
students with
Seems as if
a physical
Mrs. Dalhouse is having some internet issues.
they
We'll
can
try
learn,
to.
right? Because
Okay.
they are not limited.
All right. Let's see if we can get Mrs. Dalhouse on the phone. As we seek to continue the conversation.
So we have a voice note, a surprise campus vox pop that was carried out by Mrs. Linda Garvey. So that's Jodine's mom carried out this vox pop, and we want to hear from that right now.
I'm Linda Garvey, mother of Jodine Garvey. It is very challenging caring for a child with sickle cell and a physical disability. Building strong self-esteem, encouraging academic performance, and dealing with regular illnesses were not an easy feat. We overcame these with perseverance, commitment, and encouragement. I must commend St. Catherine High School for the unwavering attention to Jodine's academic accomplishment during her 7 years at the institution. Special mention to the nurse, auxiliary staff, groundsmen, and security personnel. Thank you for taking care and protecting her. Jodine, I am proud of you and your accomplishment both high school and university. You are really an overcomer. I am encouraging parents with children that have a disability to never give up on your children. Put God first and give your children your support and love at all times.
Mm, interesting. So, Jillian and Miss Dallas and Jodine, can you just explain to us what are some of the challenges that are faced by students with disabilities?
Okay. Well, for me, with my challenges, since I have a physical disability, my main challenge was getting around. So I have to commend UTech and the Student Services Department because they really assisted me with getting around. They scheduled all my classes on the ground floor and they provided transportation to and from classes.
Awesome. Awesome. What about you, Miss Dallas?
Well, one of my challenges while I was in high school is that I could not see the board, and
Mm.
that is yes, and I was not recommended to do any CXC because
Wait. We have to let's break that down for a minute. You are
Mhm.
not recommended to do
no,
any. On
no,
what grounds though? It's just because you couldn't see the board?
because I couldn't see. My sight was very poor. So my
Oh.
what my friend, I had a friend who sat beside me. She would write off the work quickly off the board, and
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
then I would write it, and I would do the work. But my mom and my sisters, they actually believed that I could and that I would. So
Mm.
my mom sent one of my elder sister Donna to go to the school and tell them that she would pay for it. She believed that I could do it. So it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter if I failed or passed. She
Mhm.
wanted to give me that opportunity, and so they allowed me, and I went on to move on to Excelsior, move on and get my degree, my undergrad degree at the University of the West Indies. Still,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
still suffering from keratoconus. I had to do two eye transplant, two pornograph, and um, up to today, I'm legally blind. In 2021, I went back to the University of the West Indies, where I pursue a master's in educational administration, and I got a
Wow.
distinction, and that
Wow.
was a very eye
Wow.
opening for me. Yes.
Wow.
And
Wow.
at the same time, I'm suffering not just from my visual impairment, but also I got a stroke, and
Mm.
within my stroke, I was able to write a book because now I'm now an author of 6 books. Yes, and one that is doing very well. It called Being a Teenager Rock. So I am telling anybody out there that has a disability that
Mhm.
you cannot give up, even when it's very bleak. Even
Mhm.
because I had a lot of negative criticism telling me that I could not do it. But you have to remember, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So from day one, you have to have a made up mind. Going
Mhm.
to the clinics, the wait taught me how to have patience because we had to wait some very long hours at the
Mhm.
place. So I developed patience and I developed willpower. And that is one of the things that helped me to push. I'm not telling that you're not going to have your days when you're going to be depressed and you're going to feel like you can't make it. But
Yes.
it's important to have support, though. Support is
Mm-hmm.
yeah, is crucial for a person
Mhm.
with disability. Parents, church, community,
Mhm.
schools. Yes.
All right,
So,
Mr. Dallas, hold that point. We have to go to a break. But this is some powerful stuff, very inspirational.
Mhm.
And also, Mrs. Dalhouse is back with us. So you want to stay with us after these messages. Stick and stay.
Campus, how we a carry large from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Hey, some make us again, listen, let me tell you this. Students, I wanna make we have to do. I think follow Grace Sardine. Follow the better flavor. Grace Sardine with the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody sell it. You all of them nice. Pass the part, me push it.
Grace Sardines, follow the better flavor.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with attorney at law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint. On Thursdays, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Bashco. Bashco, the store that gives you more. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Grace Sardine for the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody
Grace
sell it.
Sardines, follow the better flavor.
The time is
It is 6:18 p.m. Welcome back to Campus Connection. Before the break, we were discussing with our guests on the topic of overcoming disabilities. And thank you for joining us as we continue this discussion. I am here with Mrs. Donette Gordon Dalhouse, Miss Jodine Garvey, and Miss Jillian Dallas. Sorry. And Miss Dalhouse, you are a special needs educator. Can you briefly tell us how do you help students to overcome the challenges that they face with disabilities?
Again. So, how do I, as a special educator, help students with disabilities to overcome their challenges? So definitely, I would support. So I provide support for these students. Active listening is key. So I do listen to them because this creates a safe and inclusive classroom environment, right? So they feel real comfortable. I also implement an IEP. So this is where I would work closely with the students, their parents, and other professionals, the guidance counselor, principal, and so on. So with the IEP, we would address the students' unique needs, and we would set specific goals for these students in order for them to progress. Also, I use differentiated instruction in the classroom. When I do this, it modifies the teaching method because, all students learn differently. So you have, in my classroom now, I have students who are intellectually challenged. I have students who are physically disabled. I have students who are autistic. So I definitely have to modify my teaching methods, modify the lessons, the materials. And even when I'm assessing these students, I have to do a bit of modification so that it can meet their needs and it can help them to, overcome their challenges.
Wow.
That's really powerful.
So much to unpack. We may have to do a part 2. I'm not sure because the time is running away.
Yeah, I know.
There's so much to unpack. Mrs. Dollhouse, what advice would you
Yes.
give to parents and guardians who are finding it difficult to care for a child with a disability? So they're not trained at all, but they have been, entrusted with the care of these children. What advice would you give to them?
Educate yourself.
Mm.
So learn as much as possible about the child's disability and
Yes.
learn about the different interventions that can take place. Also, taking care of a child with a special needs can be very frustrating. So I would
Mm-hmm.
definitely tell them to take care of yourself because mental health is really critical.
Mm-hmm.
Also to network, seek support and network with other parents who have a child or children with disability. When they do this connection, they're able to, get advice, they're able to even access resources and to get emotional support. And so
Mm-hmm.
this will make it a little bit easier for them.
Mm.
Absolutely.
And also be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Be patient with the child because children with disability, you know that they learn sometimes at a lower pace than a normal child. And even a
Mm-hmm.
child with
Yes.
a physical disability, they may have certain challenges. So I would encourage the parents to be patient and flexible as much as possible.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Ladies, we do have to wrap this discussion, but we're enjoying it. We really don't want to, but we do have to. But before we go, is I would just like for everyone to just give a shout out maybe or to thank whoever you would like to thank or just even provide information on how persons could get in touch with you. We're going to start with Miss Jillian Dallas, our resident author. And
Mm-hmm.
then we'll go to Jodine and finally Mrs. Dalhouse.
Um, you can get me at 876-336-8185. And I want to give a shout out to my sisters and my family.
Mm.
Awesome. Jodine?
Hi. Okay, so you can reach me at Jodine Patrice on Instagram or on Facebook, Jodine Garvey. And I would like to shout out my parents, my mother, who is probably listening to this right now, my family, and all the people that helped me throughout my journey of going to school until now. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you all.
Awesome.
All
And
right.
Mrs.
Mrs.
And
Dalhouse?
Dalhouse?
for me, I definitely have to big up all the members of the various Seventh Day Christian Church. I know they're tuning in right now, and the
Mm-hmm.
Caribbean Conference of Seventh Day Christians at large. To my husband, Nordo Dalhouse, I must big him up. I know that he's listening, and to my children and all my family members. Big up.
Big up,
Yes.
big up. Thank you so much, ladies. We certainly hope that we can bring you back on. We'll keep our listeners posted as to when and how, but we know we would definitely love to have you back to continue this discussion. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Boy, very inspirational stories
Yes, yes,
coming out
yes.
of that discussion. And I don't know, at Campus Connection, Love 101, we work fast, right? We work fast. Something needs to be done. We're gonna get it done. So listeners, you can look forward to a part two. The date will be announced. We because there are so many things to unpack, so many things to be discussed.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really gotten into the meat of the conversation, so you can look forward to that in the coming weeks.
Right. And we just want to briefly announce that next week or next
Mm-hmm.
episode will be on teaching boys, all the
Mm-hmm.
challenges, implications, opportunities that come along with teaching boys. We want to have that discussion. So that should be an exciting show.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And we got a WhatsApp message here. It says, "Hi, Ernest and Jonathan. Good to have you both today. When there was the furor about the student who would not be able to continue her secondary education because the school in which she was placed was not disabled friendly. I tried but was not able to get through to any of the programs to give a little bit of advice. Before saying my small bit, I will say no. Our schools slash institutions of learning are not mostly equipped for the disabled, especially those who are physically challenged.
Mm.
See, October 3, I'm getting word that October 3, we're coming back with this conversation. That's Tuesday, October 3. We're
Mhm.
coming back with this conversation. So you want to stick around for that. All
Yes.
right.
Want to say thank you to all those who are listening in today and those who took the time out to just comment and give their shout outs. We see Janet Brooks, King David, Twishian Scale, Yvonne Spence, Beverly Hay, and to those who were listening, but you might not have been able to comment, to those who came on in WhatsApp, thank you so much for joining this discussion. And a big thank you to our producers, Jonathan Fletcher and Mr. Jermaine Johnson, our programs director manager, Dr. Nadine Blair. And who else do we want to thank?
We want to also thank David Sutton and Latifa Reed for news
Mhm.
support and Timor Butler for technical support. We want to thank Nicholas Williamson, who, of course, is our current journalist doing education news and bulletin. Mrs. Amoy Lines, who showed up in Creative Block.
Mhm.
Big up to her. Mr. Mark Sweeney for I Chose Christ. We want to get him on as well for October 3. So you want to look out for that. We want to thank Miss Jodine Garvey, Miss Gillian Dallas, Mrs. Donette Gordon Dalhouse. Thank you so much for making it Campus Connection. And to you, our wonderful listeners and
Amazing.
viewers, boy, I still don't get a name for you guys, I don't get a name for you guys. I'm going to
It's
work
not
on something
campus
though.
sites.
Campus sites? All right, cool, cool. We can
We
work
can
with that.
we
We
can
can
work
work
with
with
it. I mean,
that. But that's it for the show this week. See you next week as we explore more things while go on campus. I'm Jonathan Fletcher.
and I'm Anesta. Until next week. Bye bye.